The way black people can say things to white people all the time and they never get canceled. There's no backlashing about this. I want to live in a country where people are allowed to say what they want unashamedly, and you will.
Well, go
not
on then,
have
say
free,
it. Say
you
the
will
M.
not have
Go on,
free speech.
go on. Say the M word. Go on.
No.
hang
Don't
on.
invite. No.
No.
I don't want you to invite this woman to say a racially harmful term in front of me, because I'm the only on here. So if she says it,
Really?
I'm the victim of it. So please don't invite her for ratings to call me the N-word, because that's basically what it's going to be. There's a bunch of white people up here, you and one Uncle Tom on the left here, and to ask her to say the N-word while I'm here is ridiculous. You would not sit here with a Jewish person and say, please use a Jewish slur in front of this Jewish. It's ridiculous. I understand you don't have any bad intent, Piers. I understand what you're trying to do, but we already know she's
Mark,
racist.
I hear you.
And I don't want to invite a racial harm to me.
I hear you, and I accept that, and we'll leave it there.
I don't want to live in a country where you can say an inappropriate, rude thing, which, by the way...
Oh, man.
Warning, enemy nuke has been launched. Repeat, enemy nuke has been launched.
Wow, that was a really bad look. And Mark Lamont, he's super woke. And I think he used to have a guest spot on CNN and he got dumped or whatever. But Mark Lamont, actually, let me show the crowd this too, so we can make sure people know who I'm talking about. So, there's another reason why I kept this up too. So we got Piers Morgan, we got Myron Gaines, Mark Lamont, and I don't know who these two white chicks are. Like, it's funny because she's the one, set this up, but Mark Lamont is the one getting all the smoke. Like, I don't even know who she is. I know I remember her. She went viral maybe a year ago because she was saying the N-word and people were like losing their mind. And it's, well, I shouldn't say people, only a certain crowd of people were losing their minds. Like, they never heard it before. Like, apparently you don't play Call of Duty or GTA, but apparently, I mean, like I said, and this is a crazy thing. Piers Morgan has her on the show trying to get a reaction because he goes on this path of trying to get her to say, like, hey, this is say the N-word on national TV. And she said, like, for multiple times that she would say it. She says around her friends, and I think she was trolling, honestly, though. But the crazy thing is, why is Piers trying to get her to say it? That's why I don't understand why she's getting. Look, if she's a terrible person, she does all this stuff, maybe, I don't care. But why is Piers trying to get her to say the word? Piers is the one in the wrong in all this, in my opinion. Well,
Piers does, though. Piers has always been that way. He likes to have inflammatory conversations. He was kind of that way with Tucker Carlson. He was kind of that way with Andrew Tate. He likes to bring out controversial remarks and comments from people, whether he agrees or disagrees. But I'm going to tell you something that's going to kind of trick you out, TR. Mark Lamont Hill, it's amazing to me how much he's changed over the years, because he was a very big reason why I stopped being a Dem back in the day. I remember his Breakfast Club interview back in 2016 where he completely eviscerated the Democratic Party and all of the issues that he had with them. And he was making a lot of good points. I don't know why he's changed from that to what he is today. But here's what I would say to him. Number one, if they want to say it, they're going to say it. You can't stop them. I want to know people that are comfortable enough to use that word and actually mean it anyway, because that lets me know I can't mess with this cat. I told you in a couple episodes back, we talked about Kid Rock. Kid Rock was very active with that word. I used to listen to his music till I discovered that, and I was like, nah, I'm good. If they want to say it, they're going to say it. I learned that from Reddit, by the way. There's so many clips of them saying it. And I'm not just talking about white folks. I'm talking about the Latinos, too. They all say it.
Yeah, I never
just don't say it to me and don't say it around me, and I'm cool. Yeah. I don't want to be in your space if that's the word that you're comfortable firing off.
Right. So I never understood that whole conversation, but yeah.
There's layers to it. There's a bigger conversation there. I get it. I will say this: he was right about one thing. They're not gonna come out with those slurs for the Jewish folks, because there's consequences that come with that. Yeah. We're kind of low hanging fruit, but you're not gonna mess with them.
See, and that brings up a bigger point though, because Mark Lamont wanted to say, you won't say, I mean, when it came to racial slurs, that's Piers Morgan's show. Piers Morgan curated that whole panel, and then he picked the topics. So even though the chick was trying to troll him, had he kept his mouth shut, honestly, I wanted to see what she would have said, because that would have been funny because
Yeah.
Pierce called her. Well, Pierce called her out, and then she called Pierce out. Like, hey, I say it all the time. And I was like, is she really about to say it on Piers Morgan's show? Why didn't he just kick her off? If she admitted that she does say it, and for white liberals, they put on this mystical cape when they want to start saving black people. They put on this cape and say, like, no, you can't say that word. That word makes you a racist, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, what are you gonna do about Eminem then? What are you gonna do about Joe Rogan? What are you gonna do about all these other people that have said it? And there is context behind why they said it. I'm not gonna go as far as say that these people are racist, not even close. So when Piers Morgan, he tried to window dress this and say, like, I'm standing on for black people. Piers Morgan ain't got no damn black friends. Piers Morgan don't hang around black people. Like, this is what white liberal, and he's in the UK. It's UK, right? Or I don't know. He's over the. But anyways, but Piers Morgan, I mean, he doesn't operate like this, like around like other black, like around black people. Like, this is probably the closest he ever comes to like talking about black people or having this discussion related to the black community. So I don't want to hear any of this bullshit, because this is what a lot of white liberals do, is that they latch on to this word, and that gives them they want to act like, hey, this is where I stand with you guys finally. Like, no, what about all the other issues, any other social issues that occur? This is the one thing you stand on, is when another white person, they really get charged up when another white person uses the N-word. So it's just funny to me, comical, and Mark Lamont fell for the bait. Like, Pierce was trying to, I know he got a show to do. He was very close to getting the chick to say it, and she was like, I say it, and what are you going to do about it? And he was like, say it. And then Mark Lamont jumped in and had to put his 2 cents in and made himself look like a fool. At least in my opinion, I think he made himself like a fool.
Yeah. This reminds me of Nick Fuentes. You familiar with him?
Oh, yeah.
He was on Fresh and Fit back in the day. This was back when I used to watch Fresh and Fit.
Like 2 years ago.
Yeah. And I remember it was a panel full of black women, and they were telling him, oh, go ahead. You can say it. It's cool. Go ahead, say it.
Oh, I remember that.
And he said it, and they all got offended and mad.
Yep.
Look. Stop caring about this type of stuff, dude. They're going to say it. There's nothing you can do. You say it. You call your fellow brother that. So of course they're gonna say they are. Most of the time, we set the culture we set the social culture of this country. Everything is hip hop nowadays. It's slang, it's dancing, and of course they're going to pick up some of our language too. I do not use that word unless I'm pissed off at you. So if I say it to you, it's an insult. I'm damn near challenging you to let's go outside and move because I'm pretty much that mad if I say that to you. But I don't understand. If I can control you with the word, at the end of the day, that means I can control you. I can mess up your whole entire day with the word.
Yeah.
And you're going to be sitting there stewing and mad about a word. And again, I'm not saying that it's okay for them to say it. I'm saying it doesn't matter if you think it's okay or not. They're going to say it anyway, and there's nothing you can do about it. The best thing you can do is hopefully catch them putting their foot in their mouth and saying it somewhere publicly, that's probably going to impact their career or something in their personal life later on down the line. You let people like this shoot themselves in the foot. You don't have to be the one that does that.
Yeah. So, and I wanted to take a look at the comments though, just to kind of get a feel for how things are going. And it's definitely going the way I thought it would. Like, there's a lot of people standing with Mark Lamont on this. But again, Piers Morgan, I mean, he was trying to set this all up. He was trying to get some clicks off of the N-word. And it's like, you guys are missing them. This is what white liberals do. They act like they are, and I'm pretty sure Piers is a liberal, because from some of the things I've seen, or maybe people might say he might be a centrist, but if you're a centrist, most cases, when you have if you're against Trump, I equate that to you're a liberal, like you're on the leftist side. So no matter what.
I would say that Piers is, just to jump in real quick, I'll give it back to you. Piers is what I call a logical liberal. He's one of the liberals. He's liberal, but he's open-minded enough to hear a perspective from the other side. People him and Bill Maher like that.
Bill Maher, Stephen A.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just looking at the comments though, and we seriously have like an intelligence problem here though, because again, all he had to do was just let this chick say the N-word, and then that would have been the end of the segment. That would have been like, hey, okay, she said it. She really stand on that. I don't think she was going to say it, honestly. Like I said, I thought she was trolling. But again, people, I don't know what that Negro, sweet, docile, meek, humble, and kind. Apparently that's from Langston Hughes, a poem. All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of people were definitely standing on this. Oh yeah, this is the other thing I wanted to talk about though. Calling Myron Gaines an Uncle Tom, like this is the problem. Like black people, when they get mad at black people for that are conservative, and then you have the liberals and whatnot, they so easy call everyone Uncle Tom. But you got Mark Lamont, and prior to this segment, I don't know what Myron had said. So I don't know why Mark Lamont called him Uncle Tom. What does he know of Myron Gaines to be calling him Uncle Tom? If
Well,
anything,
they've been on French and Fitz's neck since they made the statement back in the day that they don't play in the dark, which they were hinting about. That means that they don't deal with black women.
I know, but Piers Morgan, I mean, he's going on the show. So if he hadn't said anything, why are you gonna call him Uncle Tom? Based on what?
I'm telling you, that's that's been following them. So he went on Flagrant too. And even Akash, who's he's an Indian, but he's also a comedian. He called him out for it because he was like, "How are you going to have that in your DNA? And that's not what you want to date." That's always following him for that reason.
Oh, Myron was on Flagrant.
Yeah, he was on Flagrant back in the day, just a year ago.
Oh wow, I didn't even know that. So
yeah,
but yeah, that stuff. They think that's like, and Uncle Tom was the hero in that story. But people, that's the first thing they go to is either Uncle Tom or Raccoon, and you wonder why you can't move forward, because you have people like Piers Morgan gaslighting everybody on the, well, not Myron, of course, but gaslighting Mark Lamont into thinking that there's something more to this conversation, and he even tried to save Myron Gaines, or I mean not Myron, but Piers. So who's Uncle Tom in all this? Who's the one, who's Samuel's character in all this? Because if anything, Mark Lamont should have been like, Piers, I got smoke for you too. You should have been bringing this up. If you thought she was racist, you should have kicked her off the panel. Or damn the ratings, you should have kicked her off the panels, but he didn't. So this is just hypocrisy. People in the comments, it's just hypocrisy. And they get triggered by all this stuff though. And it's like, why are you getting triggered by any of this stuff? Piers Morgan don't care about black people, but you want to think that he cares about black people. Mark Lamont is trying to get up here and try to have a conversation, but Mark Lamont is just, losing his cool.
Over people don't even know what that word means. Like you just said. Look, we just had somebody, and you know what? I typically don't do this, but I'm going to do it real quick. TR, quick pivot. When we had the conversation about Shador last week, one of the ninjas in the comments made a comment that our black card was taken away because of some of our takes.
Oh, yeah.
He completely ignored the fact that we both wished him well in his career, but we held him accountable for feeling entitled because of his dad's accomplishments. But apparently that has something to do with a black card. Yeah, never mind the fact that I'm probably responsible for getting more black men into the finance industry than that person ever has been. But it is what it is. Never mind the fact that my wife is black and I married my high school sweetheart and I preach to people about positive marriages. But you know what? It is what it is, man. Yeah. These people are goofy. They don't know what they want. And they want to be accepted by these people they claim to hate so bad. And I'm telling you, who cares if they accept you? Go build something anyway.
Yeah.
That just do it without them.
Honestly, you know what they should do is bring Myron. You can bring Myron on there, but I know some people will lose their mind. But bring Myron on your show and have them have that conversation. Even though this wasn't even about Myron, but people still have smoke for Myron, though. He wasn't even the one talking in this clip. That was Mark Lamont and Piers Morgan and the white chick. Matter of fact, bring the white chick on your panel. Bring them on your show. Have that conversation. Have her say in a room full of black people so you can get your answer. If she said, look, this is the other thing too. I don't like that she was trying to if she stand on that, then stand on it. It would have been funny if she did say it, but she didn't say it though, because I don't think she about that life. I think this is all just one big caricature or not caricature, but this is just one big act. And there's a lot of people on social media that just have one big act. But again, when it comes to like going on Piers Morgan, is that people just try and get clicks out of it, and he got the clicks out of it. So
You know what my issue with Myron is? Back in the day, they were beefing with Abba and Preach. And Fresh and Fit challenged Abba and Preach to run a fade. They said, let's put the boxing gloves on and let's handle it that way. And Abba and Preach said, I accept your challenge. I don't think they expected that. And then they backed down.
yeah.
Ever since that happened, I was like, yeah, that's not a good look, bro. Not a good look at all. It was your idea to put the boxing gloves on.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stand on what you say, man.
Yeah. Yeah. No, definitely. All right. We're going to jump to a topic that's just been burning up the airwaves.